All right, so this time around, it's the Courage Russian Imperial Stout. This has been aged from a year. It's the 2012 vintage. It is a numbered bottle. How about that, huh? Bottle 073389. 10% alcohol. Comes in this lovely little bottle. And it is downright scrumptious.
The amusing part for those of you who obsess about freshness dates, the best before printed on the shoulder of the bottle is the 16th of August 2025.
Mm-hmm.
That is a beer.
Yeah. Well, 10% alcohol. It's going to have hang time.
The aroma is. My son is protesting that he's not tired in the background, in case you're wondering what the squeals are. Rich, fruity, kind of a milk chocolatey note.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting dark chocolate cherries myself.
Flavor, yeah, definitely. Dark chocolate cherries.
Yeah.
Maybe even dark chocolate, slightly sour cherries rather than sweet cherries.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. There's not this cloying sweetness to this at all. It's, it's like a deep, almost bittersweet cacao.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very rich in terms of tones, and
it's almost as if you made your Christmas cake with dark cacao instead of cake flour.
Yeah.
So there's all that rich, fruity, dark fruits, dark cherries, dark chocolate. There's a little bit of booziness. It's not a feeling like you're taking a shot, but there's a pleasing booziness.
Yeah.
Across the whole of your mouth. It's a thick beer. It's let's just paint the interior of your mouth with dark chocolate cherries and raisins and plums and that kind of stuff. There's an interesting, assertive but not aggressive hop bitterness on the mid palate, but it's not an offensive or aggressive or an imbalanced. It's a nicely, pleasingly balancing.
Yeah, it's very earthy, which I think complements the chocolate tones. I'd be curious which variety of hops they use.
Probably, being a very old English recipe, probably primarily Fuggles and Goldings. They might be throwing in some like North Down or Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could just be using masses of Fuggles and Goldings.
Yeah.
And of course, that subtle toffee caramel note from that very distinctive British character.
Mm-hmm.
That toffee caramel, Maris Otter, Golden Promise flavor, aroma that is just at the background and kind of reinforces that Christmas cake.
Yeah.
That fruity, caramelly, brown sugar character to it. Like, utterly gorgeous, beautifully made. And yeah, I have to say, kudos to Wells and Youngs. They are picking up these brands that are being, for those of you out there on the internet who don't know, with all the mergers and buyouts that are going on with the large beer producers, some brand names are disappearing, some individual beers from those brands are disappearing. Wells and Young's brewery seems to have a mission to pick up those brand names or those beers, those individual beers, and bring them back to life.
Yeah.
So we've got Courage. Courage is one of the big English brewers. they got bought out by one of the mega national. Um, I will say InBev, it might have been Carlsberg, bought them out and eventually just shut them down and decided we can't bother dealing with these little brands anymore.
Yeah.
Wells and Young step in, they buy the brand and they resurrect this thing of beauty that is the Courage Imperial Stout.
Well, I think it's worth noting that this is the original recipe that was sent to Catherine the Great, and this is Russian Imperial Stout.
Yeah. This is the
article,
like the doctor. This is the Imperial Stout.
Yeah, the Russian Imperial Stout, the original. And I have to say, if I was a monarch receiving this, I think I would be quite pleased with the result.
Which means that basically what we're drinking here is something that has more or less been brewed on and off continuously since the early 1800s.
Yeah.
We're holding 2 centuries of history in our hands. And this one beer has inspired how many?
Oh, yeah.
How many Imperial Stouts being brewed out there these days? Who knows? I mean, if the number was anything less than several thousand Imperial Stouts, and that's just the ones that are in production, let alone people who are home brewing them.
Well, and, here in Birmingham, we have 2. We have, of course, Fatso, and then it's big brother El Gordo from Good People.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't think Avondale's done an Imperial Stout yet that I recall.
They have not. They're doing that vanilla porter, which is very tasty.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
And they're now bottling.
They are bottling. That just happened. Got their little bomber machine. I went and saw it. It's
I saw it the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm glad that they've moved forward. But I don't think. Well, now Cahaba has a stout, but I don't think they've done an Imperial Stout, have they?
They did that rye Imperial Stout.
They did, which was quite tasty, as I recall.
They did that as a one-off, and Cahaba, I'm calling you out. You need to brew it again. It's amazing. For those of you who haven't had the rye Imperial Stout from Cahaba, it's an Imperial Stout in this model. It's very chocolatey, dark fruits, very rich, but the rye lends that
that roasty, toasty, spicy kind of
character at the back of the mouth.
Yeah.
Not spicy in the chili sense, but spicy in the sense of like.
Well, it's like
Christmas cake spices, or sometimes depending on the beer, I get.
I'm thinking
black pepper.
Yeah, black pepper, grains of paradise, stuff like that. Pink peppercorns.
It's a beautiful beer, very well done. And Cahaba, you need to brew it again because that is a beautiful beer. As is this.
Yes. This is utterly exquisite. My only regret is only aging in a year instead of like 15.
On the label, it says, "Enjoy now or allow to mature for up to 13 years."
Yeah.
At 10%, you can push that 13 years a bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to age it for multiple decades, but a couple of decades, no problem.
Yeah. Well, the oldest beer that I've had was when we passed ABV law in 2009. Harry Kompakis, one of the local wholesalers, opened up some bottles of 15-year-old Thomas Hardy's barley wine, which was absolutely exquisite.
I've tried to describe the flavor to people since then to explain why I sell in my beers.
No.
And the best way I can describe the flavor of that Thomas Hardy, imagine the best sherry you've ever had. One of the sweet, not the dry sherries, the sweet, rich, fruity sherries, blended with the best port you've ever had, but a little bit drier than that. So it was rich, powerfully fruity, and it was more red plums rather than dark plums. It was more golden raisins rather than black raisins.
Yeah.
Very thick, very sensuous.
Yeah. No, it was gorgeous. This little golden treasure that you could drink.
One of those moments where you wait for the class to pass and see an angelic chorus up there going, ah. It really was that good, internet believers.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. The Courage Russian Imperial Stout. And a little discussion of some English history to boot. Until next time.